Today, I took a trade live on stream that netted me over $2,000 in profit. And obviously, since it was taken live on my YouTube stream, a lot of you guys were able to catch it alongside with me and get results like this. But the even more impressive part is that some of my students who weren't even in the stream were able to catch the exact same position because they'd learned the concepts, learned my entry models down to a T. And so even if I wasn't there with them or they weren't on my stream, they took the exact same position and passed funded accounts like this and this. So in this video, in order for you to do the exact same thing, I'm going to teach you the exact entry model that I took, give you a recap of the trade, and then show you exactly how you can do it in the future. So without further ado, let's jump onto the charts. So as you can see, we're on the charts right now, and just to show you the profit on this trade, the first account was 1.1k here in profit, and then this was also taken on my top step accounts for around 250 bucks per account across 5 accounts. So it netted me around 2.4k in profit, but that doesn't matter. The main thing that matters is the analysis behind the trade, how we took it. I'll also run a few clips from the stream to show you exactly what happened and how we managed. But first of all, the analysis behind the trade. Now this was taken on gold, and as you can see, we're extremely bullish on gold in every single time frame, the weekly, the daily, the 4-hour. So coming into it using my top-down analysis, obviously I'm looking for buys. Now important to note here, the 4-hour time frame actually opened up without a top wick. So you can quite clearly see essentially, this candle should flip. According to my strategy, there's an extremely high probability that this candle does go ahead and flip. Same with the 2-hour. And yeah, realistically, when we were looking at the charts, the 1-hour was about to close. But since we're at all-time high, a lot of you guys asked me how I can actually do analysis when we're at all-time high. And the simple answer is, obviously, look, there's no history on the 1-hour. There's nothing to the left to look at. So you have to drop down to the lower time frames. We dropped down to the 30-minute. We dropped down to the 15-minute. And I was able to plot my levels from that. It was quite clear that we had a support here and quite clear as well that we had a resistance up here. But that being said, actually what happened was I decided to use the 15-minute resistance here, and the 1-hour decided to close bullish. Now, as you can see, the 1-hour, having grabbed liquidity, swept the previous 1-hour low, decided to close bullish, which for me is a strong confirmation of a buy entry model. Now, this is called my Sky Dollar model. I've made videos on it in my channel in the past, so if you don't understand it fully and want a more in-depth tutorial, make sure you go ahead and take it and watch those on the channel. But realistically, all I had to do was wait for this next candle to open up with a bottom wick, which as you can see, it did straight away. And when I run the replay, you'll be able to see that as well. It came down with a bottom wick. And we inevitably just ended up taking a buy position on the flip of this candle after it came down, which was right here. And yeah, very, very simply, I went break even as it broke these 5-minute highs here to the left, because that was essentially a strong area of rejection between this area and here. Fortunately, we pushed through that area, even though it was an aggressive break even point. There was no other option for me because realistically, we've rejected here at the past. I can't not go break even again, right? And very simply what happened was we decided to actually hold the trade up towards TP. As I told you earlier, the target for this trade was essentially that 4-hour no top wick that had been made, as you can see. So the TP would have been right up here. And the stop loss was actually all the way down below these wick lows here like this. Now, before I tell you what happened in the trade and how we managed, etc., one thing I want to mention is how important this trade was in terms of our patience. I hadn't taken a trade on stream for the last 1.5 weeks, and the trades before that had been break even. So it's been an extremely slow start to this month. But that being said, we maintain patience. This week, I haven't taken a single trade. Understanding A+ setups are of absolute importance, okay? And when it came to this trade, I immediately knew this was an A+ setup, and it just proves to you that patience really does pay. So if you are going through a period where you are essentially struggling to get positions, maybe the market's a little bit slower due to the government shutdown right now, whatever it may be, patience pays. And if you do wait for the right setup and then the setup forms and you take it and you get a win from it, the dopamine, the feeling you'll get from that is way better than the forcing of any trades that you're thinking about doing. So yeah, without further ado, I want to run a few of the stream clips, and then after that, I'm going to explain how I managed to trade, what happened, and the rest of the video. What a trade, chat. What a position, by the way. Can we see this pop through the highs? 5-minute flipped here. It realistically should drive. I can't see any levels that it would get stuck on. There might be a 1-minute level, but like, I mean, there is some 1-minute levels, but the 5 is pretty clear here, actually. What I would really like now is like a really strong 15 close. Just passed phase one. Hey, JW, bro. Congrats on that. Passing phase one whilst in the trade on stream. W. Chat, you know what I'm going to do here? I'll close a little half the position here at 66 pips. No, not 66. What do we get? Yeah? 66? 66 pips. Closed half. The rest is till TP, obviously. All right, so W's there. Congrats. Chat, that's just one of the cleanest positions I've had in a long time. I literally waited. Chat, I promise you, we've waited. How long have we waited for a position on stream? The last position we took on stream was absolutely ages ago. Now, what ended up happening was we ended up taking our position, closing partials around this area right here for 66 pips, I believe it was. And then price ended up, even though it was completely bullish, ended up stopping us out on the rest of the little runner that we didn't close for break even, right? But using the exact same concept later on, literally like half an hour later, I was able to take the exact same trade again because the 30-minute swept all of these wick lows, which was my liquidity area, and actually formed the exact same setup, right? We have the exact same Sky Dweller model with a big bottom wick and essentially a bullish closure on the 30-minute. So I took the same trade again and it took us up towards the high. But listen, just turning up to the streams alone and copying my trades is not enough. As I said, my students who've learned my strategy in the one-on-one were able to take this trade without me even being there. And the reason they did that was because they learned the strategy, they learned the nuances of the system that I trade, as well as all the entry models and every single confluence that I'm looking for. Now, if you are looking to learn these exact confluences and you think you can master them, you like the strategy, I'm going to leave a link down below. I've got a little special surprise for you. We are opening up something big very, very shortly. So click the link in the top link in the description to learn the strategy in depth, in detail. And other than that, guys, make sure you drop a like on the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.